What's up, guys? In today's video, we're making the perfect March Madness bracket, but it's with soda. That's all there is to it as far as the intro goes. Question of the video, what is your favorite soda of all time? Let's get into the bracket. All right, the bracket here is pretty self-explanatory. You got your first rounds right here to second, to semifinals, to final, and then we have the winner of my favorite soda out of this bracket. Remember, it's my opinion. Don't get too offended. If you disagree with me, please let me know what you would have chosen in what situation in the comments. First up, we got Dr. Pepper versus Grape Fanta. Probably going to be the easiest round of the entire time. Dr. Pepper stomps Fanta. Flavor, iconic flavor. If you disagree, I'm sorry if you're wrong. Next up, we have 7-Up versus the OG Sprite. Now, 7-Up is really good. Tastes like Sprite. Kind of tries to be Sprite. It's not Sprite. Sprite's the OG. Sprite's the original. Sprite is the flavor. Sprite wins. Pepsi versus Cherry Coke. Now, if you guys know me, if you've been around this channel for a while, I love Pepsi. I love Pepsi. Pepsi sometimes is better than Coke. Don't come after me in the comments for that, but it is true. The one thing that is better than Pepsi, though, is Cherry Coke. Fanta versus Crush. Crush is good. Fanta's better. On to the other side of the bracket, we got Pepsi Zero Sugar versus Sunkist. Maybe even easier than Dr. Pepper versus Fanta in the first round over there. This flavor of Pepsi, again, Pepsi guy, plus the 0 calories, the 0 sugar, maybe one of my top sodas of all time. It might be. Next up, we got Coke versus Coke Zero. Now, again, love a good soda with the 0 calorie, the decent flavor. That's all well and good. Coke Zero is not Pepsi Zero Sugar, though. It's not. Not even on the same ballpark. Coke's better. Coke's better. The OG soda flavor. When you think of a soda, besides Dr. Pepper, you think of Coke. I don't think you can disagree with that. Canada Dry versus A&W up next. Canada Dry. I don't like A&W. Never have. Probably never will. Maybe you'll disagree. I don't like it. Sierra Mist versus Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew. Growing up, Mountain Dew was easily one of my favorite flavor drinks. It's great. All the different types of flavors you can get, but the OG is still top of all the Mountain Dew flavors. Mountain Dew easily comes out on top. Staying on this side here, we got Canada Dry versus Mountain Dew. Now, don't get me wrong. Ginger ale is great. Ginger ale is great. You asked me maybe 5 years ago if I like Mountain Dew versus Canada Dry ginger ale. I'm probably saying Mountain Dew 10 times out of 10. I'm starting to really like ginger ale. But you're not beating Mountain Dew. I'm sorry. This might be my hottest take right here. We have Pepsi Zero versus Coke. Now, again, don't get me wrong. The OG, the original flavor of soda, in my opinion, Coke, it's hard to top that. But you get this weird feeling on your teeth once you drink it. It's really acidy flavor sometimes. I don't know what it is now. Now that I'm getting older, maybe I just don't like regular sodas as much as I did. Pepsi. Pepsi Zero over Coke. Not that hard to me, to be honest. Up next, we have Coke Zero versus Fanta. That might be actually the easiest decision I've made all video. It's so hard to beat Cherry Coke flavor. It's so hard to beat Cherry Coke flavor. And you got against Fanta? Dr. Pepper versus Sprite. Some people might think this is a hard call. Some people are Dr. Pepper purists. Some people are Sprite purists. What's crazy is when I was younger, I probably would have said Sprite over Dr. Pepper. Growing up, I didn't like Dr. Pepper. I don't know why, but as I've aged, as I've matured, I've gotten wiser, I've gotten smarter. I said what I said. The final four: Dr. Pepper, Pepsi Zero Sugar, Coke Cherry, and Mountain Dew. Let's go on the right side. No, let's go on the left side first. Dr. Pepper versus Coke Cherry. Again, you asked me a couple years ago. I'm saying Coke Cherry, Cherry Coke, whatever you want to call it, landslides Dr. Pepper. I was wrong. Dr. Pepper is much better than Cherry Coke. Pepsi Zero Sugar versus Mountain Dew. Again, you asked me a couple years ago which one I'm picking. As a kid, I'm probably easily taking Mountain Dew. But with the 0 calories, with the taste, with the logo, with the brand, with the can, I think that is much easier to call than the other one was. I think it's much easier to say Pepsi's over Mountain Dew than Dr. Pepper was over Cherry Coke. Easily. And the final two, and the finale, and the final game, the final fight of the bracket, Dr. Pepper versus Pepsi Zero Sugar. Now, you gotta weigh your options here. You got Dr. Pepper on this side. Dr. Pepper has probably one of the best soda flavors you can ever think of. Maybe the most loved Coke, soda, pop, whatever you call it from wherever you're from of all time. On the other side, you have Pepsi. Maybe some consider the underdog of the soda brand. Some consider not as good as Dr. Pepper and Coke and all those guys. But I'll tell you this. You get the flavor with the 0 calorie. It's a lot closer than you think. But I'm gonna be honest here. I wanna say Pepsi. But if I can only choose one to drink for the rest of my life, I think Dr. Pepper wins. All right, guys, and there's the video of my March Madness soda bracket. If you disagreed or you agreed, let me know in the comments. Remember, this is just my opinion. If you have your opinion, please let me know. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. I will see you in the next video.